Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build, Paint, Play. My name is Dave.
Greetings, programs. I'm Jake, and tonight we are joined by Brent and Casey, who are going to be talking about all of the stuff they have going on, including Goblin Games and the show and Brent's project and everything going on. And all of us looking forward to Adepticon. So thanks for being here with us.
Yep,
good to be here.
Yeah, thanks.
Goblin Hobbies.
Oh, what is it? Goblin Games? That's Mark.
That's somebody else.
There's too many goblins. There's too many goblins.
A lot of goblins.
Goblin Hut, maybe Kobold Hobbies.
Goblin Hut.
Somebody will say. Some people would say maybe not enough goblins. More goblins.
I mean, there are a lot of goblins, so it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never run into one goblin.
Excellent. I'm just going to say hi to folks in the chat. Luis is here, saying hi, everyone. Scott as well. Josh Sawyer. Hi, Josh. Dave Hummel says, "Get off my lawn, you whippersnappers."
Nice.
What are you talking about, Dave? You're younger than all of us, I think. Well, maybe not Casey.
Older than I look, I promise.
Anyway, Josh Potter is here as well. Cat Swift has joined us. Hello, lads. Josh says, Brent and Casey, never heard of them. Do they paint miniatures? Yes.
A little bit.
Sometimes, occasionally.
Mostly. Mark Maxey has joined us as well. And Dave Holmes 53. He is older than all of us. There we go. And Patrick Keith is here as well. Bombshell Miniatures. Howdy. Hello. So yeah, very exciting. We're all just getting a little bit stressed, right?
Not stressed.
I don't know if stress is the right word.
Yeah.
Anxious.
Perfectly in between a couple of conventions.
I would say amped up. Like Adepticon's my favorite show, so I'm like, I'm excited to get there. I'm not like apprehensive at all.
Right. I'm always anxious. I think just like eternally anxious, and then it gets ramped up before a show.
Okay.
Not that I'm worried about things going wrong. It's just that I don't know. It's never going to go.
It's always a very busy week. Always a very, very busy week.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to, a lot to do, a lot of people to catch up with. This is kind of that one. So
it is the big family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Sorry, I just noticed Heresy has joined us.
Nice. From the future.
Pardon?
From the future.
Yep. Heresy lives in the future. Maya Fisher has joined us. Says, great to see Brent and Casey. Dave Howell says, I'm always stressed. It'll be fine, Dave. I want to go. Anyway, so what have we all been up to? Who wants to start? Casey.
All right. Obviously, been a little busy in the last few months. Haven't gotten to do as many videos as I wanted to do this year. But my son, my 9-year-old son, has been really interested in like historical models and like Civil War models for some reason. Okay. So I've been printing, and we've been building a like a big 2x2 diorama of like a Civil War encampment. So he's been into that weirdly. And then we built some Warlord miniatures the other day, and he actually got into like using some glue and doing stuff. So that's been the extent of my hobby over the last like few months.
Right.
So it's still there. Doing some fun stuff, but not as much as I'd like to.
Sure. Yeah, I can understand that. That's cool. Awesome. Brent, what hobby have you been up to?
I mostly sell stamps these days, but there's still hobby involved in that. So mostly I've been prepping minis with like these simple base coats to get them ready to make Instagram reels. That's what I've been doing. So I'm getting these models looking pretty good, making sure that they have a nice shield or shoulder pad or something, nice stampable area on them. And I get my cameras all set up and tuned in, and I do about 30 seconds of filming of putting a nice little stamp on the stampable area. And if that focus turns out right on those cameras, like I have done my job. And that's what my hobby looks like these days. Making little Instagram ads, but rewarding in its own way.
Yeah. That's cool. Jake, how about you?
Usual, like, playing my weekly hockey game. Last week I played 3. So I played a game on Monday, a game on Tuesday, a game on Wednesday. And then got a little bit of role playing in on Thursday. I'm currently running a Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory RPG. I don't know if people are familiar with that. It's the game by Cubicle 7. It's really good. If anybody played the Black Library system, Rogue Trader. So Rogue Trader was fun, but it was all D100. So it could be a little convoluted, and like doing stuff could be kind of complicated because it was a very math heavy system. And Wrath and Glory is much more actiony, and you have a lot of like abilities you can do. But they did a great job of like balancing the classes, because before, let's say we're playing a game and Brent wants to be an Inquisitor and Casey is going to be like a, Astra Militarum, like Stormtrooper who's been second into the Inquisition. And I'm going to be like I don't know, like a rogue psyker, like a low-level psyker who's been like tasked by the Inquisition to help. And Dave's like, I want to make a Space Marine. It's like having Superman with like a bunch of Cub Scouts. Like, you're like, why do we even have to be here? Like, the Space Marine will just do everything. And they balanced it really well in the new system. So it's a tiered system. Like, so if people play RPGs, the essentially like you make like tier 1 characters, which are like pretty entry level, and then tier 2 is like cool stuff. So tier 1 is like you're a guardsman. Tier 2 is like you're a veteran guardsman with like cool equipment. And then the first Space Marine you can be is a scout, is tier 2, and then a Space Marine is tier 3. So It's really up to the GM. You can kind of balance it. So if someone wants to make a Space Marine, everybody else gets to be tier 3, which means that instead of being like a tech priest, I'm a tech priest with like, the whole spider array, and I have like a plasma cutter and like a graviton gun and all this stuff. And I have maybe a servitor helping me out. So your characters are just like beefed up to balance it out. It's a fun system. Like the Space Marines are basically like your barbarian. Like they can take a ton of damage, they can deal a ton of damage, but they don't have a lot of soft skills. So in the RPG part, they're less helpful, but they do have like intrinsic things built in. Like their intimidation is really high because they're a giant 8-foot tall post-human wearing powered armor, carrying a chainsaw. So like but it's a fun system. So I've been doing that, and then trying to crank stuff out for the Rogue Trader event. I've got I basically just have to do at this point details and basing, and they should be done. So I'm going to try to knock out most of that tomorrow and work on the transfers and stuff during the week, and then they should be all set. And I think I got enough from my case that everything should fit, along with my heresy stuff for for the tournaments, but it should be a good time. That's kind of where I'm at, but it's been good.
Right. Nice.
How about you? Well, how many thousands of points worth of armies have you painted in the last like 8 days?
No thousands of points. I did finish off the tables that I've been working on. That'll be on display for the first time at Adepticon. So I'm really excited. I started putting them into the. I got 2 big Pelican cases, like Pelican cases designed for compound bows. To put them in. So I started doing that tonight. I think hopefully tomorrow or Friday they'll be picked up and shipped off. But the show after Adepticon, I'll be able to show those off, which would be good. But until then, and I did, I painted some more Prussians for Trench Crusade, and I got a photo later in the show for those. And then this weekend, just gone, I'm going to show some photos because I am super excited, and I'll give Brent a little bit of PTSD.
This is Dave's garage.
Packing stuff. Oh, I wish this was my garage. It'd be awesome.
Looking good. Yeah.
He's
Putting together some 3-packs there, I see.
Yep. It's a big pile of empty boxes just cast aside.
Looks heavy.
Yeah, they are. All of those books are super heavy. But yeah, so myself and Brendan Bell, my buddy, guessed who Brendan should be in the chat at some point, went out to Game Envy and over the weekend and packed 660 packages that are all starting to go out this week to backers, which is super exciting. Woohoo! That's for the Art of volumes 13, 14, and 15.
Nice.
I'm excited that is
my type A would kick in here. Like I have a whole system when I ship a lot when I'm at work. I have a bucket for all the trash, and I have all my mailers lined up, and then I like pack orders, flip them, throw the trash away, and then if I'm breaking down boxes like what Dave is doing, I have my knife out. I'll literally break down boxes. I'll have a pile of cardboard next to me, so it's just when I'm done, I can just throw all the cardboard in the recycling. This would drive me crazy because now I have to go back and like break down all those boxes, and oh man,
from like behind the bigger pile too.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, those boxes back there, they're a specific size, which is perfect for use for the like. This is on Saturday. On Sunday, we had some orders that needed to go out in that specific size box, so we didn't.
Right on.
But yeah,
my type A is appeased. Like you're using those boxes, okay?
Yes. we had to do a lot of just basically working on our efficiencies to be able to. So I think on Saturday we averaged a package per 2 minutes per person. 2 minutes per person.
It's not bad.
And then so it meant that we had a good break for lunch. We got to walk about like half a mile to a cool taqueria, and get to relax a bit. We didn't kill ourselves, although my back disagreed on the way home for sure.
Yeah, that's a low table. I see what you're doing there. That table needs some risers.
It does. I'm going to be buying myself some risers for the next time I have to do that. On Sunday, I got I sat in a chair, but all good.
There you go.
Well, Brendan's doing it right there with a pile of books.
Yeah, that's
if you're working. Yeah. You make a pile of like 20 books and work on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
You can see the straight back. Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to go. So yeah, that's what I've been working on, getting prepped. Just going to say hi to a couple other folks who have joined us. Jez Hunt is here. Welcome, Jez. Nope. Okay, it was just Jez. Oh no, Ray is here as well. Ray Herrera.
Nice. What's up, Ray? I bragged about Jez the other day. I was my wife and I were watching the Oscars.
Yeah.
And they were showing like all the stuff, and I was like, oh, our buddy. They were talking about like, you know, when they give out the Oscar for like costuming and like all that stuff. I was like, oh, like Dave and I, like our Dave's buddy Jez jumps in all the time, and he's like a leather worker. He works in Hollywood. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah, like he did a bunch of the leather work in Dune, and his new project is Dune 3, and then he's done stuff for like the Bone Temple and all that stuff. And she's like, "Oh, it's really cool." I was like, "It's pretty." Like, he's our Hollywood connection, is just like.
Yep. So definitely awesome, cool. So
Maybe he'll steal a still suits. That'd be cool.
that would be great. I must admit that when I was watching the trailer and looked at some of the posters, it was like, oh, I wonder which bits Jez had done. So I'll have to start showing some photos and pointing, having some arrows going. But yeah, definitely cool. Gus says hearing about box packing techniques makes me long for some Thundercats or Battletech talk from Jake.
I mean, I'm your Huckleberry, Scott. You let me know. We can talk about that whenever.
We probably should just move on, right?
Sure.
Why not? So yeah, we've got a lot to chat about tonight, and I think it will have a lot of cool things to go through. So we're going to jump in. First up, we do what we always do, and we thank our season sponsor, the Army Painter. Jake and I are members of the factory team, the Army Painter factory team. We're going to be spending some time at the the Army Painter booth at Adepticon, so come and say hi. I'm going to be there on Thursday. Jake, you're there on Friday.
I'm there on Thursday in the morning from like 10 to 2. I'm there Friday from like 1 to 4, and I'm there on Sunday at the end of the day.
Right, cool. So yeah, I'm there on Thursday in the afternoon, 3 till 6, and then I'm at the Creator Council now. I've been moved, so the Army Painter Creator Council panel Friday afternoon, 3 till 6, something like that. So
that's right. Thanks for reminding me. I'll be there. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Friday afternoon, 3 to 6 at Adepticon. Somewhere. Somebody tell me where to go.
It's probably in S201, something like that. It's over near. It's over near Fort Wapple. So, but yeah, should be very cool. Excellent. Army Painter have also announced a couple of other things they're doing at Adepticon, including there's a big paint jam going on, and there is a trench. I think we're hosting the Trench Crusade.
Yeah, the sneak peek,
sneak peek preview in that same room. So definitely check that out if you are at Adepticon. Speaking of Adepticon, it is only 7 days. 7 days to go. I think for all those folks who are watching us and aren't going to Adepticon, you'll be super happy once we stop talking about Adepticon. That's the wrong approach to take.
that doesn't that timer just literally reset the day after it ends? Like it's just resets. Like, yeah. I don't think
there's do an Adepticon recap. You gotta do a few interviews with folks you met at Adepticon.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Never ends.
Excellent. Fantastic. Let's move on. So then I think we're going to jump into chatting with Brent and Casey about Goobertown Hobbies, about eBay Miniature Rescues, about Paint Bravely, the podcast. I said it perfectly that time. So many times before the show. And then Goblin Hobbies. So let's jump in.
Yeah. So, this is my slide. Yeah.
Oh my God.
As with all of our guests, I asked for some origin story images. Brent said,
dude, I forgot that magazine exists. That's amazing.
Well, if you want a really good page of the Scry magazine from, I don't know, 1997, right. You can find Brent's deck list in there for Star Wars customizable card game. But anyway, my nerd origin story is that as a kid, I liked Lego and Star Wars eventually wound up in a gift of the Star Wars collectible card game from Decipher. And that was a game that came out like a year after Magic and like a year before Pokemon. Like it was one of the big, card games at that time. And I got in hard as like a 12-year-old and was winning tournaments up in northern Maine and stuff like that. But that was my first game that really got me into the game stores, like the local game stores. And then when that burned out, I moved from SWCCG to Warhammer. And there we go. That's a Christmas Day. That is a Warhammer Fantasy starter box that would have been Bretonnians and Lizardmen.
Oh yeah.
You see the sort of the little scroll, kind of the parchment paperwork that they had.
Dude, that's
so
so
very
fun.
popular around the time.
Hey, you got the fine eyes to identify this stuff, don't you? Yeah.
Yep.
But
it's awesome.
yeah, orcs and goblins were my army for fantasy, and Dark Eldar were the army for 40K back in those days. There's some.
We are
Oh
racing.
god, that's like half that's half the box from the 3rd edition starter.
Yeah, buddy.
That's
Yeah,
like
buddy.
two of them.
Yeah. There's the old witches in the back.
Yep.
Now, I
Got a couple
tell you all the time, this army looks like it's made out of fishing lures.
Right.
It could be. Yeah. No, this is good stuff. These models have meaning to me. We're looking at some 3rd edition Dark Eldar minis right now.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
Goblin green bases. We all the classic stuff.
This is
All
back
good
when the armies were hybrid. So like all the dudes in the front are the dude in the middle and the two dudes with the two incubi, those are all metal. And then
Yep.
all of the warriors are plastic, and then the witches are metal. So they have
Yep.
slot bases.
Sure do.
Yeah.
I do not miss
Sure
slot
do.
bases.
Excellent. Oh, sorry, I just noticed Harris, you said I haven't seen couch fabric like that in 30 years.
Yeah, it's fair.
It's good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
But, yeah, I noticed with this one, you got the backdrop there is the mighty fortress.
Right. Now, this actual photo is only a couple of years old.
Okay.
Like I definitely have hoarder tendencies, and when possible, I save old minis and all that stuff, because you never know when they'll come in handy again. You never know when you'll need a modern photograph of them to talk about with people. So glad I kept all that stuff. And
Yeah.
at the time, I just grabbed whatever I had around for a backdrop. Happened to be the Citadel Fortress sort of thing. But yeah, good eye there, Dave. Good eye.
No, that's good. I was going to ask, was that something that you painted back in the day, or was that a more recent?
I've repainted that recently, but that was one I got used. That was one I asked my parents for, and they're like, "Do you know how much that costs?" I'm like, "All right, fair enough." Like I do, and like, good point, fair. Like,
You weren't like, I know exactly how much that costs. That's why I'm asking you.
yeah, that's why I'm not buying it.
But mom, my dreams.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, worth a shot.
Have Santa bring it.
Absolutely. Excellent. Sorry. Just quickly, Ray says, I have an important question for Brent. Will your nemesis Bert Mabers be at ReaperCon this year?
Well, I can't ever give that information away, but I think Brent will not be at ReaperCon this year, but I will return at some point.
All right. Nice. And Brendan has joined us. Hi, Brendan. You missed seeing your photo. But definitely go.
We can get back to it
from you later. Excellent. And Josh says he personally likes the aesthetic of the old minis.
Oh yeah, no, those Dark Eldar sculpts will always be important to me.
Yeah.
And from time to time, I will repaint them in the future. I actually had an eBay phase where I was mostly just buying 3rd edition Dark Eldar things.
Okay.
And about 10 years ago, you could get one of those plastic 3rd edition warriors for about 50 cents each. And I did that for a couple of months, and I've got.
Brent's like, so I dropped $300.
I have cornered them up.
Yeah. Well, if you include the metal incubi and stuff, yeah, I did, yeah. I do have a nice strategic reserve of just brand new, unpainted, third edition Dark Eldar plastic. So
Yeah,
As you do.
Dave's right. He's cornered the market. In case there's a rush for third edition Dark Eldar armies, like all roads lead to Brent. So
yeah, buy the dip. Yep.
Exactly. Awesome.
All right.
there you go.
So now,
goblins.
yep. Now we're looking at a photo of me in front of 100 yellow-robed night goblins, and this is from the first couple of seconds of the video that basically built the Goobertown Hobbies channel. So this was the 10th video that I uploaded on my channel in January of 2019, and it was just one that I put the effort into to do the YouTube thing of I'm gonna batch paint 100 goblins, and we're gonna time everything and try to use all these tips and tricks, and we're gonna calculate how long each phase does. And anyway, that was the video that took the channel from about 100 subscribers to several thousand, and then it kind of launched into being a kind of a bigger YouTube channel from there. And it's look at that young man, look at all those goblins. Yeah,
I mean, dude, that was like 8 years ago. Okay,
Yeah.
a long time ago. Yeah,
it's a long 8 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thanks, Jake.
He's certainly got the energy to be doing 24-hour painting challenges, right?
Dave and I are still waiting to hit find our video that takes us from 1,000 to several thousand.
We'll get there eventually.
That's the spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any day now.
Excellent. Des says, I remember that video. So there you go. And Cal says, cute 14-year-old Brent.
Yep.
He says, before the algorithm crushed your soul.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Those are the days.
It was a different time back then, honestly. Like we could make fun videos and people are like, oh, that's fun. Not so much anymore. So yeah, that algorithm will get you.
No.
To be fair, some of the videos we did back then were actually like, new, like an idea that people hadn't necessarily like. One of the reasons this video,
an army.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think I was the first one to do that on YouTube
possible,
for miniature painting. Yeah. And it's one of the reasons that I'm done with it now and won't be never say never. Don't have immediate plans of doing that again. And yeah, one of the reasons I made this video is because no one's done like a big video about batch painting before. Why has this never happened before? And that's why I did this one. And now look where we are as a community. That's
exactly
type batch painting, or I mean, then the word speed painting really got into the algorithm. But
yeah,
for sure. Speaking of the algorithm, just as a thing, I'm not sure we're actually allowed to talk about it on YouTube, but obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but it certainly feels to me like there's been the thing where like folks like yourselves have gone, okay, here's what works for the algorithm. Here's what gets us the regularly sees us getting views and maybe growing. And then something will change in the way that the back end is structured. And then it's like, okay, we're going to spend the next 2 or 3 months working out what works now. Is that a sort of correct kind of assessment of what happens with the algorithm?
I think that's how people perceive it. That's how people look at it and they think about it, and they're trying to chase some ethereal thing that doesn't necessarily exist. I think at the end of the day, if you make quality videos that appeal to people, I think it doesn't really matter. Like realistically, it just doesn't.
Okay, cool. That's good. My next question was going to be, how many times do you think it has changed then? But the answer is,
I mean, I think people's tastes are ever changing, and people come and go, and who's here one day versus the next day is completely different. So it affects whatever buttons get clicked and whatever the YouTube is showing new people, it changes. But I don't know. It's yeah. I think if you build an audience and you build an identity, then that works.
I think one of the weirdest ones is, so because we're all on the factory team and there's a bunch of us that like we all talk pretty regularly, and we all do very different versions of like a similar thing. You know what I mean? It's like we're all doing somewhat related content. But we all do it very differently. And I'll hear like Phil and Uncle Adam will be talking about stuff. And Heresy were on a call one time, and somebody was like, "Oh, I did a video. It was a 1 out of 10. Or, no, it was an 8 out of 10." And I went, "Oh, that's not bad." And they were like, "No, that's bad." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "So a 10 out of 10, it's where it sits in your algorithm compared to like your last, X number of videos." And I was like, that's weird. Like to the rest of the world, an 8 out of 10 would be an 80%. A 10 out of 10 would be the best. And they're like, no, a 1 out of 10 is what you want when you're doing viewership. And I was like, well, there's half the problem. Like your metrics are bad. they were trying to talk about how like Phil was saying that he had done Uncle Adam was upset because he had done a video that he had thought he had, sort of ticked all the boxes and done it the right way. And it did really badly. And then another video that he did as like a throwaway, thinking like, oh, this isn't going to go anywhere, was like a really, really popular video. And like they were talking about it. Phil's like, that's just how it goes sometimes. Like sometimes you can spend all this time on something and really work hard. And then it's like YouTube is like, yeah, this wasn't really good. And then other times they'll be like, oh man, I don't know about that video. And that's the one that like takes off and gets like 1 million hits. And you're like, it must be maddening. Like Dave and I don't really worry about that stuff. We just kind of like
we do our thing,
do the show because we like hanging out with our friends and talking to people and like, trying to be a little bit entertaining for the people watching. But like, yeah, I don't think we've ever been like, all right, Dave, how do we work the algorithm? Like, I don't think that's a conversation we have.
Yeah.
Gonna put our algorithm gloves on.
Yeah. I think part of that is like the life cycle of a YouTuber also. I think Casey and I are both kind of past that type of rat race. And like, we try to make a video that'll do well and get some visibility and have some people watch it. But I think both of our mindsets are more like you, Dave, and you, Jake, now, of just like, putting out some cool stuff and seeing if folks watch it. But no, there were definitely a few years there in the earlier years where it's really trying to grow the channel and push the boundaries and all of that stuff. And I also want to say it's not so much about chasing the algorithm as like staying ahead of the algorithm. I think that's another way to look at it. Like, I don't know, there've been a dozen little fads that have kind of gone through our community, whether it's, painting with inks or contrast speed paint or slap chop or whatever it is. There are these kind of keywords and topics that, have had these spurts in the algorithm where some videos, including those topics, have really taken off. But making the slap chop video in 2026 is different from making a slap chop video in 2023. Partially, I mean, part of that is the back end mechanics of YouTube changing, but more of that's just what the audience has seen before, what is new and interesting to people sitting down to watch YouTube while they paint minis. And so one of the ways to be more relevant is not to follow the algorithm and make another slap chop video, but to like stay ahead and figure out what the next new and interesting thing is. And
Cool.
Yeah.
So
no, that's good. That's that I think that definitely answers my satiates my curiosity about where you guys were on that sort of that thing as well. But and I like your point there, Casey. That's perhaps the perception of a lot of folks.
Yeah,
and I would totally say that was my perception, not having looked into it at all myself, but that's certainly how it felt like it was coming through.
I mean, I think that's like the conversation that most people have when it comes to YouTube, and certainly even like larger creators talk about the algorithm and what it's doing. But when it comes down to it, it's like if like we're in the miniature painting world and we're doing things that people haven't seen, then like people are going to be more interested in that. If you're doing something that other people aren't doing, or you're standing apart from other people in some unique way. And so it just ends up being a thing. And then we talk about it like, yeah, is it algorithm? Is it this or that? But I think at the end of the day, it does come down to that. Just trying to do something kind of like Brent said, is like keeping ahead of things and doing something that people haven't seen before.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Scrivy, Josh says, I'm calling it now. The next big painting fad is flat paintwork. No blends, no highlights, no glazes, bare bases.
Get on it, Josh.
Yeah.
Get on it. Flat chop. Yep.
Yeah.
Flat chop. Fantastic. And Malev has joined us as well. Hi, Malev. Excellent. So talking about doing things that are different, I guess. Brent.
Yeah. So
Cat videos. There we go. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
cat videos.
Talk about
Yep,
Goobertown cats.
That's always a secret weapon for sure. Can't keep them out of the videos anyway, so might as well include them in the edits. You don't have to crop them out of every shot. Yeah. But no, what we're looking on here on the screen is a picture of me behind a microscope, and in between me getting into Warhammer in middle school and then me returning to miniatures at around age 30, I went to college and university for a while and studied chemistry, and that was my big boy career for a little while, was being a scientist. And so when I wandered on over to YouTube, I kept those interests. And so one of the things that sets Goobertown Hobbies apart a little bit is that I do try to do more science experiments kind of stuff in my videos and talk about what our tools and glues and paints and goops are made of and stuff like that. And so in this photo, I'm sitting behind a microscope and I have a big tray of glass slides in front of me. And I'm going through slides of metallic paint in that video. And it turns out if you put metallic paint under a microscope, you can see the flecks of aluminum and the flecks of mica. And you can see the color pigment in the medium alongside the shiny bits. And not that it has direct applications to how we paint miniatures, but it's kind of nice to know like what's going on in your hobby supplies. I like it. I like it.
You're not going to get that information from someone else on YouTube. Is I guess the point there. Yeah,
You're gonna get it from Brent for sure.
Yes.
For sure. And actually, this is one of my all-time favorite videos. And it did okay on the algorithm. Nothing compared to if I had made a video about speed paint or something, but like this one did okay. I thought it had some really cool images. And then I've also used that microscope to look at paintbrush bristles. And there were two images that I really loved. One was a shot of a synthetic bristle compared to a shot of natural hair bristle. And when you zoom in, the difference between the two experiences all of a sudden makes sense. So on the synthetic, on the plastic bristle, you can see kind of all these little like fracture points along the length of the bristle. And you can kind of see where it's like kinked there, or it's going to kink here. And you can see like, all right, like I understand why these start to fray after a couple of nights of use. I understand why they have a limited lifespan to them, these synthetic bristles. And then you look at a natural hair and it's wild. It's just like the perfection of nature, just the symmetry and the strength of this tiny, tiny hair. But you zoom way in and it's perfect all the way up to the tip. And there's, it's not bent. There's no obvious weak points in it. And it's just like, oh, okay. All right. Like me as a hobbyist, I've always been, more on the frugal side. And so like, I like using synthetic brushes and, buying a multi-pack and getting as much use out of them as I can. But then looking under the microscope, it's like, oh, I see why natural hair brushes last so much longer and keep a tip better and all this other stuff. So sometimes the scientific approach like actually does directly help my understanding of this hobby that we're engaged in.
Right. Excellent. Ray says my first Goobertown video was PhD chemist explains 3D printer resin, and I've watched it ever since.
Thanks, Patrick. Thank you.
Patrick said that as well. First video was Brent's was how 3D printer resin worked. Excellent stuff. Scott also said in this photo, you could convince me that this was a picture of a desk-mounted paintball gun looking directly at the cat.
You're aiming at that cat currently.
I see it. Yeah,
That's like smile on your face, looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Really doing it.
One of those stingray barrels, the brass eagles. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Yeah.
Excellent. Another one that I loved was the you're spraying out in the cold.
This episode is obviously brought to you by Tidy Cat.
Yes. I mean, that's just a filming trick, but I have a couple of Tidy Cat buckets out in my backyard there, and snow's everywhere. And I use those Tidy Cat buckets for the text so I can focus in with the camera and make sure that the focus is where I want it for doing this kind of shot. So that, I'm out in my backyard getting shots of me using rattle can primer to prime some minis. And I'm making sure to stand next to my little table of Tidy Cat buckets, partially to keep the focus where it's supposed to be, but partially so I don't need to put my tray of minis down in the snowbank as I'm working there.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and being on YouTube, like part of it is just if you can find funny and interesting video clips to put into your videos, so much the better. So I mean, I needed to prime these minis anyway. It takes an extra half hour to drag out the cameras to get that 5 seconds of video footage that'll actually go into the video. But if just that little extra visual interest keeps somebody from wandering off and doing something else, then, well, I guess it's worthwhile. And it's fun. It's fun.
Absolutely. This was another sort of part of that experiment that, as I think Malev called it, the science era of Goobertown videos.
Yeah. As long as the can of primer is warm, it'll work, and you don't let it. And you take the models inside to dry.
Yeah,
that's important too. Yeah.
Fantastic. I think when you did this, when you released this video, it was around the time of a Adepticon spray team or a series of spray teams, and it was nice to where we could say, sure, this is absolutely fine for us to be out here in this not quite freezing level, sort of as Hank would call it, meth tent, priming terrain. It's absolutely fine as long as we then take it all inside.
Yep. I tell people that at the store all the time, like, when you read the GW cans, it says you're supposed to prime between, like, it's insane. It's between like 72 and like 90 or something. And I'm like, really? Like, I was like, that. So I tell people all the time, I'm like, that's not true. I think it's easier if it's north of 50, you're golden. You could do colder. Temperature isn't really the thing. It's humidity. If it's really, really humid out, priming is a bad idea because it'll never cure. It'll just be sticky forever. And if it's super dry, a lot of times the actual particulates of the paint will dry before they get to the model, and then the rest of the aerosol just mats it onto the models, and that's why they look all gritty and grainy and stuff. But temperature isn't a huge deal as long as you're not leaving it out in the cold and like keeping everything out there. Like, that's not ideal, but
excellent. What do we have next? Oh, there we go. And then
more
we had
cat videos. Nice.
Yeah. Relatively recent shot of my painting desk there with I've gone all out on structural aluminum, this 80/20 T-slot aluminum, and I've bolted it all over my desk so that I've got a permanent ball head for my camera to be, and I've got permanent points for my monitors to be so I can see what I'm doing. I've strapped down my paint racks and all my lights and stuff, so cuts out a lot of tripods doing it that way. But
right.
this is what a painter's desk looks like for somebody that needs to film a lot of their painting. Just
Right.
figuring out all the little tricks to get pretty good video out of a setup like this.
Yeah. And so does this sit just in front of your right shoulder, or
So I paint with my left hand, so I keep my camera above my right shoulder. Yeah, kind of right next to my right ear is where my camera sits.
and you
And I'm one of the people. I think a lot of mini painters on Twitch or YouTube or whatever have a camera kind of going down and use the surface of their table as the backdrop.
Right.
I like to use, I don't know if you can see in the picture there, but I've draped some poster board kind of towards the back of my desk, and so I'm normally angled in that direction where the back of my desk is the backdrop. But yeah.
That's cool.
You asked for some photos, and oh boy, I went through some folders and sent you some photos, Dave.
It was definitely good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Didn't know which one you'd pick, but yeah, there's my messy camera and painting desk with a cat on it. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's always kind of fun too seeing everybody's setup. Everybody, like so many people that we talk to now and that we know have nobody has the same setup.
No,
like everybody's is like, oh, I did this instead, or I have this instead. Like I like that yours is like over your right shoulder. Like I would think as being righty, I would think I would want it here, but then I'm like, oh wait, my hand would be in the way, and then that's why a lot of people do top down. But I like that you have it over your offhand, and then at like a 45-degree down. So do you paint up and away over your desk, like you just have that little narrow spot for your elbows kind of thing?
Yeah, I do raise my hands a little bit so that it is kind of that 45-degree line of sight. So I think anyone shooting and painting like adjust their posture in some way. And I think a lot of YouTubers will hunch down so that the flat surface of the desk is the backdrop. Yeah. I raise up a little bit more so that the back of the desk is the backdrop, but not in that picture, as I did make myself a special brace that I put on the table. I've got a special place where I rest my hands as I'm painting and shooting so that the hands stay in the same place so that things mostly stay in frame and in focus. And then, of course, the external monitors are there for me to double check that things are in focus as I'm working.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, that's neat. Huge. I think we've got some photos of minis that that you sent through.
Yeah. There's a couple of simple, mostly Hero Forge minis in there for a D&D game I was doing with 20-sided realms with Blake and Ed and Travis.
That barbarian is barely in dress code.
Yeah, that's Ed. Yeah. But yeah, you were going through the games that you'd played this week, Jake, and I didn't know we could use games as hobby progress. But I've got a group of friends playing D&D, and yep. I enjoy D&D, and I play Magic every once in a while. Much more than actual war games. I play D&D with my friends, RPGs with my friends.
Brent, bring a commander deck. Me and Alan, a whole bunch of us love commander decks. I bring one to every show I go to. Somebody will get. We were playing last year in the hallway. People were like, "You guys play commander?" It was like 8 of us. It was us, the guys from Death Ray Designs, a whole bunch of people.
Fantastic. I'll throw a few in the car. Sounds good. All right.
That's awesome.
Yep. So this is one of the entries I did for Fabulous Marines, and they are coming up on the 6th year of Fabulous Marines this June as kind of a pride celebration. And this one is a light conversion that I did on one of the bikes from the 6th and 7th starter set. It started as a Dark Angels bike of some kind, and replaced the guns with more headlights, and replaced a sword with a little pinwheel and stuff there.
The pinwheel is amazing.
Yeah. Together real well.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Like I was sitting there with like clamshell plastic, and I think it was like a gamer's grass piece of plastic or something. And I'm sitting there with my X-Acto blade trying to cut out the perfect tiny little rhombuses for a pinwheel, but I got it. I figured it out. Cracked the code.
You're like, that was the hardest part of the mini, was making the pinwheel.
Yep.
I had like 5 failures, but I eventually figured out, like, all right, these little rhombuses, you put them together like this. Yeah.
And that's a witch elf head swap, right?
Or is it Etcher?
It's either which
That's a witch elf.
it might have been a
bone
Cabalite. Yeah, might have been a Cabalite, but yes,
Oh.
it's definitely Dark Eldar. Yeah.
Right here. Nice. But yeah, that's cool. And is that just done online, the Fabulous Marines?
Yeah, so it is mostly Twitch painters. Like that's the bulk of the community. That's the core of it. And then spreading out a little bit to YouTube. And like I said, they're heading into their 6th year. There's some talk of changing the name and the branding away from Fabulous Marines to more Fabulous Minis, or just really make the point that it's about mini painting and acknowledging Pride Month and all of that stuff instead of just painting more Space Marines rainbow colors.
No way. Fun for the fun god. Rainbows for the rainbow flag. Come on.
Yeah. So I did participate the last 5 years, and like
Cool.
I don't know. I've done Space Marines in various sizes and scales for that. One year I did my Space Marine fishing lures with Pride colors, and fish like them just as much as the standard Legion colors. I'll tell you that. And
Excellent.
Yeah. Wow.
That's cool. Maya says, hope you do a video for Fabulous Marines this year, Brent.
Got to figure out what it's going to be. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, those are just some modern 3rd edition Dark Eldar warriors. Like I said, I've got a strategic reserve of that plastic, and yeah.
Dude, you got the cheat sheet thing and the whippy sticks. Like, oh man, this takes me back.
The whippy sticks, yeah. I incorporated those in a video a couple of years ago, and yeah, got a couple of shots of me just whipping those around and getting some good audio of that. Like, they cut the air real nice. Yeah.
Oh.
If you do them like flick them just right, you can cut some skin with them as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100% with them.
Is anyone in this chat confused about what a whippy stick is? Because Warhammer starter sets used to include these 18-inch red pieces of plastic.
You mean these?
Yes. Just on hand.
It's because they come in the Horus Heresy starter.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Do
That
they?
kind of makes sense.
I
They're just
didn't
like,
know that.
this is a callback to the before times.
Horus Heresy has a lot of elements from basically like Rogue Trader, a little bit of 5th edition. So the 5th edition had the whippy sticks in it, and so they just come in the set. It's like I mean, it's old school. It's the templates. There's a scatter die. I mean,
Jez says this is Jake's home defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they were mostly for hitting your siblings, but
God, yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I was working in a Judo store when these first appeared. So these were for hitting your colleagues, for sure.
absolutely. Like, this is before HR was a thing, really. So
Yeah. You hit them on the back, you can't see it through the shirt. But
Heresy says he still has marks on his arms from them.
I believe it.
that's because he was hitting himself with them earlier today.
Yeah.
Excellent. And
a couple of one-page rules minis in this slide. Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. And I think this is just a pretty good example of where my own painting style has ended up eventually. I like bright colors, relatively simple paint jobs. I like black lining. That's a thing that I've come to enjoy and like the looks of. And I can get a model to about this point before I call it good and get distracted and wander off to something else. So like this is normally about the standard that my models end up on.
Yeah.
Unless I wander off before this point. But yep.
Nice.
They're good. I like that model. That giant dinosaur with the rocket launcher is pretty rad.
Right? Yeah. Well, Games Workshop were fools for not bringing the lizard men into 40K before now. So one page rules beat them to it, and this is the Saurian Star Host, and yeah, that's a gator and a gecko, I think.
Right.
It is weird. Like two of the most popular things that GW makes. I mean, obviously Space Marines are number one with a bullet, but like everybody loves Skaven. And the fact that there's not supposedly like the Hrud, I think we were always told the Hrud are basically space rat men, but
Yeah.
they're not a playable army, at least not yet. And not until Dave paints an army, and then in 3 years we'll get them. And then the other one is like lizard men. Like the lizard men are technically the old ones, because the old ones are the same in both 40K and fantasy, but like they're another one. Like there's not a playable army of them. So
yeah. And you painted these up for a particular project, didn't you?
Yeah, this was a couple of years back, and I had met some guys from Philadelphia who do a lot of commercial work, like they shoot commercials for big companies, and so these are cinematographers who have access to like real cameras and real studio equipment, and we put together like this 5-way collaboration between myself, and Dave from Mini Wargaming, and these Cinecore media team, and then also Monument Hobbies and One Page Rules. And so we painted up 2 one-page rules armies with Monument Hobbies paints and took them to this like real film studio and got all set up with like this crazy robot arm camera that could, had a probe lens on it, could do all these wild like panning shots, and you could it was all computer controlled, and so they could say, all right, start the camera here focused on this character, zoom out the focus, and then like physically like move the camera across the table in like this zoom motion over 3.72 seconds, and then focus in on this character who he's going to shoot. And so we basically just tried to make like the most over the top battle report ever. And so these are a reminder of that project that we did. And those videos got posted on the Goobertown Hobbies and the Mini Wargaming channels. So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty ambitious, but the results were amazing.
Well, thanks.
Everything
looked
great, yeah. And I thought the video is really cool. Definitely.
Yeah. And of course, these days there are channels doing very high quality battle reports, and probably more watchable than what we made. But it was definitely a fun, proof of concept experiment sort of thing of like, hey, let's take this tabletop war game to this company that specializes in like product shoots for golf clubs and cameras and milkshakes and whatever else, and see what they can do with this. And it was interesting. It was a cool experience.
Excellent. No, that's cool. Nice. I think that might be so. That's our Goobertown Hobbies origin story. Just want to let everybody know that down in the notes, in the show notes, there's links to Goobertown Hobbies, eBay Miniature Rescues, Paint Bravely, the podcast, and Goblin Hobbies, as well as all sorts of other wonderful links. Next up, Casey, your origin story, or the origin story of eBay Miniature Rescues.
Yeah, I didn't think about getting pictures from way back when. I don't even know if I have any in particular. I have like, I don't know. I remember taking pictures of like my Eldar, which is the army that I started with in 3rd edition. With some old camera a long time ago. They're probably pictures at my parents' house or something. But yeah, so I started, in the late 90s or whatever in 3rd edition. My buddies, older brothers got us into Warhammer. We were just old enough, to have a little bit of pocket change. And they're like, use all of that money, combine it together and buy one box of models each,
Sure.
So we did, and I started going on that. And because I didn't have a lot of money, I actually started going on to early eBay way back in the day. So a lot of my original models were eBay models that were partially painted, or something had happened to them and they're missing something. And there was stuff you could find even back then. So that was kind of how I started in the hobby. And I was painting for maybe 2 years, 3 years, something like that. Kind of got into middle school, high school, and then just kind of dropped off, as so many of us do. And then it was like 20 years later kind of thing, 2017 or something. Whenever Age of Sigmar came out for the first time, I should say. I hopped back into the hobby. Like, I just happened to see something about it somewhere, and I was like, oh man, like I really liked that Warhammer game. I should look into that. And I don't know, like Age of Sigmar kind of got me because I missed most of like fantasy and stuff. I didn't really get into it back then. It was just 40K or nothing. So like Sigmar came out, I got into that, and then I was just kind of, one day I told my wife, like, hey, I'm gonna start a YouTube video or a YouTube channel. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put some stuff up there. That way I can kind of keep track of my paint jobs and stuff like that. And I just started kind of making videos like I didn't talk in them. I just kind of wrote stuff on the screen. It was like, and then this paint and this happened. And that was that. And it kind of just grew from there. Like, I don't know, not intentional at all. And even in the naming of the channel, it was kind of like, well, I'll just do what I did back then. It's just, I'll buy stuff on eBay and I'll do the rescue thing.
Yeah, that's cool. Casey did send me some photos with captions.
Yeah, there's like early videos. Yeah,
that really, I haven't gone back and looked like at your earliest videos, but that I was like, oh, I'm kind of confused. Why am I getting these captions?
Yeah, like I didn't have a real camera or anything. I started with my iPhone because it was like an iPhone 4 at the time. And it was like, well, this is good enough to take video and I can edit it in like iMovie on my phone.
Yeah.
And then you can write in captions. And then there were like 10 songs you could choose from in iMovie. And I picked like the one that sounded all right, which was not a good choice. And it is still something that haunts me even now.
After the show, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look.
Oh, yeah. Like the first, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 videos or something are very much like, and it's just like marking down the steps of how this is going, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Excellent. Cool. So, as like taking things very literally, the eBay rescue, buying miniatures on eBay, stripping them back, repainting them in your 20 years later painting approach. Every kind of quite a while now. And I think there was a period where in sort of every video, it was like the same sort of explanation of here's what's going on to strip the paint. But now it's a little bit more of a fun paint stripping montage. What's your process for those people who are watching?
Yeah,
who haven't seen my videos before. Here's how he strips miniatures.
So the main thing that I've come to like about it, or I guess the process that I use these days, is using a sonic cleaner. The process has even been a little updated more lately, but generally speaking, you put a concentrated degreaser into a sonic cleaner, which is usually meant for cleaning jewelry and like automotive parts, in large scales in some cases. But we can buy cheap versions of them, small versions of them to do glasses and whatever. And when you put a model with paint in there, that degreaser starts to eat away at it. And the sonic cleaner, it vibrates at like a specific frequency, and it causes a bunch of bubbles to form inside of that vat in the degreaser, and they explode and cavitate onto the paint, and they get into deep crevices in the models and underneath that paint, and it just starts to remove that away. And I don't know, there's just something about that process that's really satisfying. Like when you pick up a model out of that vat and it's just dripping with paint, and you take a toothbrush and you barely touch it, and it just comes right off and it's brand new. Like there's really nothing like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's like you can see how it just like
that poor space on the left. He's like, kill me.
Yeah.
He's like the guy who got hit by the truck full of chemicals in RoboCop.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
It's almost like a kid wearing it's like his dad's suit or something. It's just
right. It just doesn't quite fit anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But obviously the idea is to kind of find a bunch of older models, or not necessarily even older models, but ones that have been neglected, we'll say, and try and save those things. Because when it comes down to it, like if somebody's just giving away models, or they're selling them for pretty cheap, they need money, whatever the case is, like they put an amount of effort into something, and it didn't maybe go the way that they wanted to. And I kind of just feel a little bit bad for that, because when I started painting, I really wanted to have a certain kind of result, and I didn't really get that. And that was part of the reason that I ended up leaving the hobby, because I was just like, what, like I posted some pictures online. People weren't very nice about it. Like, I don't have time for this. I don't need to deal with this. Like, it's just painting models. So a lot of what ended up becoming the eBay Miniature Rescues channel, is kind of going, no, it's really okay. We can take paint off of a model. Like it doesn't matter, as much as you the time that you put into that, it's for practice. We can start over. We can do something else. You can change whatever you want to change. It's never permanent. So that's kind of the overall philosophy that I go into with these things.
Yeah, I think that's an important part as well. There, like as you're painting it, you're wanting to get your model to be the best it can be, but it's pay attention along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is practice, right?
Oh yeah,
that next model and that next model and that next model. And then you can circle back sometimes and do this.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that. Like it takes off the primer, which is wild.
Yeah. I mean, it does depend on the model you get. Sometimes, man, you get some real stubborn models, but I'm also taking the approach of like, I'm not using paint strippers. I'm using stuff you can buy. Like the LA's Totally Awesome is a really great paint stripper, just happens to be because it's a really like basic, pH like degreaser, right?
Yeah.
So it just happens to cut paint off, but it's also $1 a bottle. Like if you want to buy paint stripper, like you can buy that and you can go through an $8 bottle for a couple models or something. But in the idea of trying to find models for cheap, to fix models that are broken, to finish projects that were started, like we're not trying to overspend on those things. Like you can build an army off of the used market and make it something actually really cool, and it doesn't take a ton of effort to get paint off of a model.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you have to do that like in your garage or something. I'm assuming it's still like the fumes are still toxic or whatever.
Not really. You're not really heating anything up. The sonic cleaner isn't very big. You're not putting a ton of stuff in there, and it like the concentrated degreaser is not great for your skin. So you got to wear gloves and that kind of thing. But you're not creating fumes with anything. You're not heating anything up. The cavitation happens inside the liquid and hits the model and gets in those crevices. So it's not anything that's really super dangerous or, terrible. It's mostly water, actually.
Wild.
Yeah. Just quickly, Brendan asks, can you use a sonic cleaner to clean green stuff and resin without damaging the green stuff work?
Yeah, actually. I do a lot of resin in a sonic cleaner, stuff that has green stuff on it. it'll break up glue. Like if you've super glued some stuff on or some green stuff on, if you're putting a piece on, so that might pop off if you're not super careful. But in general, it works just fine. It doesn't damage anything. Like I've used the sonic cleaner on every kind of model, and I really have never had any issues with something, breaking down or hurting anything. So yeah, you can definitely use it on pretty much anything. With resin in particular, though, if you do have a sonic cleaner that heats up, obviously resin gets a little bendy, so you do have to watch out for that.
Yep. Cool. And then we've got some photos of some of your rescues.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Good
This is a
old
model
fabulous
that
Billy.
Yeah, I've been looking for this model for a while, and like I like to set up save searches on eBay. So it's like if this model with this name or these keywords pops up and it's under a certain price range, I'll get an email or you can even have like eBay will text you now. Like you just get a text on your phone and it's like, hey, this model popped up. So I think I probably spent like $10 on this or something. I really try and go as low as I possibly can, but a lot of it is patience. And this one is just one that I've wanted for a while, and it's in a particular condition of like it's just a little bit thick paint that I know it's going to come off nicely. The metal models always, you can shine them up and make them look good. So it's the kind of stuff that I look for a rescue.
Plus, it's a classic. It's a classic Jess Goodwin sculpt, so it's always going to look good.
Yeah, no, it does. Like even compared to the newer one, I really like this one. I think I talked about it in the video I made about this too, comparing it to the newer model. And it's like they use the same aesthetic. It's the same pose. They didn't change it because it was already good.
Yep. Absolutely. Jez says fabulous. Absolutely. Fabulous Bill.
Oh man.
One of the best.
Well,
yeah, this I think is the one that did it for my channel. It kind of solidified things.
Yeah.
I still think to this day that might be the best horse. This horse and like Archeon's original Dorgar, I think are the two best horses they've ever sculpted.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is a real good one.
Absolutely. I think. Yeah. When was it?
In the early days, Casey and I were kind of neck and neck in subscriber numbers.
Yeah.
Like our channel started around the same time, and I remember a little friendly competition, like as we were growing and stuff. And this Green Knight sent me behind for like 6 months. Like
yeah.
It took everything I had to catch back up with you again after that Green Knight video, Casey.
Not only did you do a great job salvaging this, and not only is it a great sculpt, depending on when you got it, his rules were crazy. In 7th edition, it was like he can teleport. He just, is there a piece of terrain? He charges into it. He charges out another piece. Like he was amazing. You could use him in your Bretonnian army. He was gross. His rules were so good.
I think this was the first like old world model, like Warhammer Fantasy model that I actually painted too.
Right.
A guy that I met through YouTube named Ben sent me this model, which is something that actually has been a consistent thing since this, is people just sending me their old models to like fix up. But this is the first one that I did, and he had that same kind of thing. It's like, I love this model, I got this and it was great and all these things and these games. So there's a lot of memories attached to that, which I also find pretty fascinating with a lot of these models, is that we have so many memories attached to them. And it's like such a shame that something like this that's somehow damaged, like this horse, the back end of the horse was mangled, the rider's shield was all completely busted up, and I had to like sculpt a little piece back onto it. And it's like, I was not even that good of a painter at the time. And it's like, we can do even just a nominal amount of work. And it's like, this is what I remember. This is the model that I was thinking of,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's awesome. I also made sure I included it because I know Jake is a huge fan of the Green Knight.
He's the best.
And something that's quite topical. Commissar Yarrick,
Yeah.
bringing him back from the dead.
I'm pretty excited about that model. Honestly, it's based on the second printing of him.
Yeah.
I was hoping for this one. If they were going to redo it, I was hoping for this one. But
Like the crab claw.
you know,
I always
yeah.
got a kick out of this is the claw.
Yeah.
It has
Just
the fingers
the
on
pinchy
it.
part. Yes.
Yeah. I'm pinching everybody.
Yes, exactly.
It does look great, but yeah, no, spectacular job on the refurbishment, I guess.
I forgot about the skeleton on his bolter. I forgot about that.
Right. Yeah.
This is also one of those like classically just really good looking models.
Yeah.
Like as much as I like the newer one, I would still just use this one probably. Like just what size base is he? I'll do that. That's fine.
Yeah. Put a tactical rock on there. He's all set.
Exactly. Tactical rock. He'll be fine.
The banner. Was that? Did you have to like photocopy that out of the Imperial Guard Codex, or?
Kind of actually. So I don't know what website it was, but like 7 years ago, I found this website. This like old WordPress.
Oh yeah, I know the one. I know when you're talking.
You know what
about.
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it has like every flag ever in super high quality. Like they went through and meticulously scanned every one of them.
Yeah,
so,
like, that website is a labor of love. Like someone spent, and again, like you said, it's a WordPress. Somebody spent hundreds of hours just like painstakingly finding every old paper banner and putting them in there.
Yeah. I wish I knew who it was who did it. I still don't know the name of the person. I have the website saved somewhere.
Whoever that guy is, like tip of the cap. Thank you for your service. Like it's phenomenal.
Saved me so much time in so many instances. But I use that. I print the banner out, and then what I typically do is I airbrush around it on the front and back to blend that in and make it look like it was a little bit older. But yeah, if I'll find that somewhere. I'll put that up somewhere, that resource. It's a good one.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, you can drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
Live. That'd be sweet.
I'll see if I can find it.
Apparently comments help. I don't know. But yeah, no, that's definitely cool. Exciting. You sent some photos of different areas. Was this one's the previous studio?
This is it's the newest one that I'm in.
Okay.
But it's like the side part of the garage. So the room I'm in right now is like a 3-car garage that's finished. Just has like a man door on the outside, go in. And there was a separate part to it that was an actual garage that we ended up like replacing the garage door and just putting like a French door on so it could be a finished space. Is now my wife's office, so we share like a building in our backyard. But this was I think I've been here for almost 4 years now in this space. Yeah, it's been a while, and it obviously looks completely different. But yeah,
I think. Oh, sorry. So let's just quickly switch to this view, and we can see it behind you there.
Yeah. This is the space I'm in now. A lot of different stuff up all over the place. Try and keep it mostly tidy,
You got a lot of great art up there. I see I think that's one of the Kapinski's Space Marine Reloading, and you've got the it looks like the John Blanche like 3rd edition box cover with the Bloody Sergeant. There's a lot of good stuff going on.
A lot of John Blanche stuff on here. I did a thing with Displate last couple years, and so they were nice enough to send me some real sweet licensed art, and a lot of it was like John Blanche stuff. So I have a ton of that all over my whole studio at this point. It's pretty sweet.
Yes. Excellent. The next slide we've got I kind of spoiled, but thumbnails.
Yes.
I like that this is the worst way to paint an army.
Yep. So this specifically, I thought, this, we could talk about like the thumbnails and the history of like what those look like, especially for both of our channels. It's just wild from like where it started to where it is now. But this was also a specific time in my life where I had another kid. So my daughter was born, and the worst way to paint a Warhammer army is like when you've had no sleep and have just come home from the hospital, you know, with your wife and newborn. So that's what that's about. Yeah.
The baby diaries.
Yep. So I had a good series of a few months of the baby diaries that I called it, and it was like vlog style filming of just trying to get something, just trying to get anything done. So it's a mess, but it's pretty great, and I do enjoy going back and seeing that and like what it was like. I don't know, it was a totally different time. It's like 5 years ago too at this point.
No, that's awesome. I love the so grimdark it made her cry.
Yeah.
No, my favorite is the Mugatu in the bottom left hand corner. It's so good.
Oh man.
Excellent.
Yeah. Trying to keep it clean, trying to keep it like something's popping out. We got the Warhammer thing. That's always been my go-to for thumbnails, is just making it like as simple as I can. But obviously you gotta have the YouTuber face on the front there. That's real important. Real important.
Right. Excellent. For ours, we're basically just each year Jake and I take a new photo, and then that becomes the bit to the side for the next 2 seasons.
Nice.
But yeah,
Smart. So let's work.
keep it simple. Excellent. Here you are. So this is at the desk that's behind you.
Yeah, so this is like the newest, like the latest edition of the working space. Yeah, having like a nice desk that I can put a camera wherever I need to. I do the same thing that Brent does with like the backdrop, you know, and have like a camera kind of over the shoulder into that. It's really great for airbrushing and things like that. And then I got into silicone mats for my desks, and that has been a pretty huge game changer. Like if you don't have a silicone mat that's like one of those like flat ones on your desk, you need to change that immediately.
It's really good, and I still haven't got one. It's really good. Yeah.
I'll buy you one next time I see it.
This episode is brought to you by Big Silicone.
Yeah. We sling a lot of silicone over here. We do, but the silicone mat is where it's at. You can get any kind of paint on there, and it's like those poppet things that people have been using for like speed paints and stuff.
Yep.
Paint just pops right out, the same exact material. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Excellent stuff. And then we talked a little bit about this before the show, but this was one of your first like planned collaborations.
Yeah. Brent, you want to talk about that a little bit? I don't even know how it came about. I don't remember.
Fair question. Casey and I found each other's channels when we each had about 100 subscribers on YouTube. And at some point we decided to do the YouTuber thing and do some sort of a collaboration. So we sent each other minis. It's kind of like, hey, whatever I send you in this box, you're gonna have to paint it up. And eBay Miniature Rescues, I found something that I had gotten in a Craigslist buy that had been stored in somebody's attic, and it, this is the chassis of a rhino, but it's the organ gun thing for Sisters of Battle,
the Exorcist.
Exorcist. There you go.
Yes.
So I had one of the original Exorcists. That's the plastic rhino chassis with a ton of metal bits on there. So in the photo, you can see the metal organ pipes and everything. And anyway, this definitely needed rescuing, partially because there were literally dead flies and possibly mouse droppings inside the body of the tank. Just because
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I know elsewhere in that purchase all of these things were found in there, but I just found one of the nastier models that I had in my collection at the time and boxed it up and sent it to him. And you sent me a perfectly nice homunculus, for the newer Dark Eldar range.
Yeah, I was assuming that you're like his you're his middleman for all the Dark Eldar stuff. You're like, hey man, you got any more of that Dark Eldar?
I don't know. I've got some There's one. I got a witch right here. That's a Brent special.
That's a mandrake, and I gave that
Whatever.
to you, and you're
That's
welcome.
mandrake. Yes, thank you. See, I don't know.
Oh man,
Excellent.
that's a mandrake. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually,
They drastically changed what a mandrake was.
They absolutely did. Now
yeah,
they're weird glowing space dudes from another dimension.
A shame. A
I
shame.
dig it.
Excellent. But over time, that friendship built to Paint Bravely, the podcast.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's
We
the other side
kind
of
of.
it fairly quickly because you guys looked awfully young in this photo.
That's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's what happens. That was in my closet studio too. That's a walk-in closet that I had everything in there. All the painting stuff was there. It's
Yep.
good times.
You see that
My
out.
goodness.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what was the decision here? Why don't you guys go as
This
well
was
as
you,
doing
Casey.
our other channels? We're
Yeah.
going to do a joint channel.
I mean, we'd been talking and just kind of talking about all sorts of hobby stuff, and it was like, hey, this would be good. We should do this. And I came to Brent and I was like, hey, why don't we do a podcast? And we kind of talked about it. We did a couple of dry runs, see, if it worked at all, and if we could, fill an hour, that kind of thing, and ended up being pretty good. So we just started doing it, and then we did it for, I don't know, 4.5
5
years.
years.
5 years. We didn't
Yeah.
miss a single one until we just shut it off completely. Cold turkey. No more Paint Bravely.
Yeah. No, we
Really
about
must-
6 months ago. About 6 months ago, we took a week-long break, and we gotta we gotta work on that.
Yeah. We said it was going to be a week-long break, and still going.
Excellent. Ray says, Casey saying, and most importantly, learn to paint bravely. Lives rent free in my head. And Patrick says, yeah, when is Paint Bravely coming back?
Yeah.
Good
When that
question.
break's
I mean,
over.
Casey and I talk more than ever these days. We just gotta turn on the cameras again.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we fell into a routine of just every 2 weeks turning on the cameras, and like maybe we each had a couple of notes of literally the notes of just like what did I do in the last 2 weeks, and we try to start a conversation that way and see what happens for about an hour-long podcast. And basically, as soon as we see the timer reaching about an hour, you're like, well, about all for this time.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And
We have a timer that runs, but we don't look at it too much.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
we're more than an hour right now, I'll tell you that.
Brent's acutely aware. Like, we're getting over. Come on.
Excellent. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Goblin Hobbies. That's what we're here to talk about.
I mean, I guess that's probably a bigger reason why we haven't actually gone back to the podcast. We had been talking about this project, this idea of being able to do a whole bunch of Space Marine shoulder pads for this, big YouTube collaboration. We're going to paint a massive army kind of thing, right? And we didn't really have a good solution. We didn't want to do decals. We didn't want to purchase the decals. So what, Brent, you were in a hobby hangout, right?
Yeah. So we've been talking about stamps for years. And like the idea of if we're gonna do, I don't know, Crimson Fists or something, like we will design a stamp. Yeah.
Thank you. I think I got another one on today too. It's a different one, but yeah.
Looking good
Every day.
But yeah, we'd been talking about making like a rubber stamp for whatever, a specific Space Marine chapter or something, and like getting the perfect curvature to it, but like making a stamp that only did like one symbol on a particular curvature. And we played around with that idea and, kind of forgot about it for a few years. And then, one night I was on a hobby hangout with people assembling minis, painting minis, that kind of thing. And one of the ladies on the hobby hangout was not doing miniatures at the moment. She was doing her fingernails, and she was stamping her fingernails and putting designs on them. I was like, wait, what are you doing there? What's going on here? And apparently there's been this stamping technique in the world of manicures and such for 10 years or so more. And just most of us had not heard about it before. But if you can stamp a butterfly or a leprechaun onto a fingernail, I mean, you can stamp a fleur-de-lis on a shield or a gauntlet onto a shoulder pad or anything like that. So we got to thinking, and I was like, oh man, we're gonna make a really cool YouTube video out of this. This YouTube video about painting this whatever Warhammer army or whatever. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And Casey pretty quickly said, "You idiot! Like we're what we can do is make a product and sell this to folks and kind of introduce this into the world of mini painting that way." And so that's what we did. There were a couple of years there where we were kind of cooking up Goblin Hobbies in secret of making stamps for miniatures, essentially adapting these nail stamps from that world into the world of miniatures. And we announced it early in 2025, had our first sales at Adepticon 2025.
Yep.
And on screen right now is a picture of Casey and I with an Imperial Guard army that we painted in the fall of 2024. And it was kind of the big project that we did. It was a collaboration with Poor Hammer and the Kieran Show. And basically, a big dumb YouTuber collaboration project painting a Warhammer army for clicks.
We came out of retirement for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was pretty funny. We did this as a collaboration with two other YouTube channels, the Kieran Show and Poor Hammer. And both of these are newer YouTubers and had not done, the Kieran's had done a little bit, but like the idea of like doing a big army project YouTube video was like a much newer idea for these folks. And Casey and I are just like, yeah, we'll come on out of retirement. We'll do a big dumb YouTube project and paint an army. All right. And one of the reasons we agreed to that particular collaboration was because it's like, all right, we're going to do an army that is like a good target for stamps. Mm-hmm. And so all of the tanks in that guard army have like heraldry and numbers and caution signs all over them. You know, all of the shoulder pads and all of the troopers and guardsmen have, you know, little squad symbols and squad numbers and all that stuff. And so this was we thought this would be a cool way to kind of announce that this is a project that we'd been working on to everybody. Again, our experience with YouTube, we predicted that we might be able to get 100,000 views on a couple of YouTube videos and kind of give a nice boost to the product that way, and both show off the kind of things it could be useful for while also hitting the algorithm and really letting people know about it.
Cool. I included this photo as well. I will let people know. I didn't know where in the timeline this happened, but
So though this video came out 3 years ago. I did some conversions to the old Stormcats with some new stuff to try and kind of fix some scale issues that I dislike about the older models, whatever. Fun project, but this was the first video that I put stamps in. That other picture that you had put up was one of our earlier tests, but so these were the kinds of things that we were trying to go for. But I had bought some like nail stamping plates, and I was like, okay, well, this will be a good proof of concept for whether or not this is going to work, if the scaling works. So I tried to find things that made the most sense. And I didn't tell anybody in that video like what this was. A lot of questions, a lot of comments in that video and subsequent videos, because I just kept doing it without saying what I was doing for years. So this was 3 years of me putting this on YouTube, like showing it to people and not saying anything about it until that Imperial Guard army, when we're like, yes, this is actually what that is.
Right.
This was pretty funny. Yeah, there was definitely more than a year of Casey stripping off the old paint off old models, and putting the base coats back down, and then he'd like skip forward a little bit in the video, and all of a sudden the models have checkerboard and symbols all over them, and be like, well, there you go, there you have it.
For a long time.
A lot of folks in the comment sections were like, hey, where'd you get the decals for that stuff? Like that looks really great. Where'd you get those decals? And the answer was stamps.
I think there was only one video in all of videos I made that it was like, oh, this is too like brutally obvious that I'm just skipping it. So I told everyone, this is the only time I've ever lied in a video, is I told people that the video file was corrupt. So that part just wasn't there.
You didn't go with the, oh, I forgot to press record.
Basically, yeah. Like, oh, yeah, that's probably an easier one. I like that one better. My memory card randomly corrupted.
That happen a lot. Absolutely. But cool. So for folks who haven't seen the stamps before, or haven't stamped the nails with nail stamps before, talk us through the process.
Go for it, Casey.
All right. So the idea is that we've got these etched metal plates, right? And the etching is really, really shallow. So it's a really thin amount of paint that gets deposited into there. But the idea is that you put a glob of paint over the top, and you use a plastic scraper cart to scrape away that top layer. And the paint that's in that recess is starting to dry now that you've exposed it to air. So as it's starting to dry, you take a silicone stamper. There it is. You roll over the top, or you press down lightly on the symbol, and that takes that now drying paint and picks it up on that silicone because it's just sticky enough. Once you've lifted that image up, the other side of that paint is now starting to dry, as it is now exposed to air. And you can look down the back end of that stamper because it's clear, and you can press it onto your model where you want it. And it, a lot like a decal, you have a nice painted on image. Obviously, this is actual paint, and it does look like paint on your model. So that's really where it differs. But yeah, that's the process.
Dude, that is wild.
Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it?
Again, like, I think the funniest part is when we were talking about it. I think we were talking about it at Nova last year.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Nova. It's too bad you're gone. But yeah, it was a wild conversation. Brent was like, yeah, so nail stampers, and we're all like, what? And then I was talking to I was out somewhere when I got back, and I was talking to we were out at dinner, so it was my wife and I and a couple of our friends who are couples, and we're chatting, and then one of my buddies, his wife is a phenomenal, she's an artist, like she's a professional artist. She works in like commercial art. She does a lot of like management stuff. And then her side business is I don't know what you call it, but like she'll buy like a doll, like a toy doll or something, and she'll like strip it and custom paint them, and then she sells them online and has like a huge following. Yeah. And I was describing this to my buddy, and she was like, oh yeah, nail stampers. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, like I use those a lot. Like she'll do like, like face tattoos on the dolls and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I was using my own model kits. And I was like, how did we not know about this?
Seriously though, that's what we thought, right? Like we started looking into it. We're like, there's no way that this hasn't been done. And it's like, no, it just hasn't. Like, all right, I guess crazy. We're gonna be the ones, like that's what it is.
In the chat, Maya says, I got some UV gel nail polish to use with my stampin' plates. It opened up the variety of colors I use.
Yeah, so, one of the big things we talk about is that we're not a paint company, right? You can get stamping nail polish almost anywhere. UV polish is a good example too, right? You can put it on and it doesn't dry immediately, so you can like cure it with a UV torch. But like, it's a really good way to go.
Nice. That's cool. And it's essentially you're using nail polish, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Yeah. There are many kinds of nail polish, but this is basically stamping nail polish, which is kind of like an enamel, organic solvents, dries quickly. And then the UV polish, different kind of nail polish, but the idea is it has a longer working time, doesn't dry as quickly. But like if you once you get it onto your miniature where you want it, then you can set it with the UV flashlight.
Right. Okay.
But-
Cool. Excellent. No, that's a good point. So stamping nail polish is what you're looking for.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we currently sell 6 colors of stampin color, but yeah, if you don't like one of those colors, you can go to a nail supply store and get stamping nail polish in whatever color you
You
want.
can raid your wife's like nail cabinet and be like, hey,
100%.
where's all my red? And you're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Red is our most popular color.
Cat Swift asks, how many times trying before it worked for you?
It took us a little while to figure it out, and there was definitely part of the development where Casey got the knack of it before I did. And so Casey was stamping up all those minis for his videos, and I'm like, "Are you sure this is gonna work, Casey? Like, I don't know, I don't have the hang of this yet."
Put years in at that point. Like, we got this.
But no, it definitely is a skill, and essentially there's like 3 seconds where the entire learning curve is, and that's just picking up the design from the steel plate.
Yeah.
So dab the color on, scrape away the excess, and basically the 3 seconds in between scraping away the excess and then doing this like gentle roll of the wrist to pick up the design with the silicone stamper, that's the entire learning curve of this process. And we're getting better at teaching folks how to get past that learning curve, and so we've been putting out tutorial videos and all that stuff. And I think our current version, or current iteration of tutorial videos, is pretty good these days, as long as people actually watch and pay attention to them, which is all part of the struggle. This is apparently not new to anybody who does their nails, but for miniature painters, this is a new skill in the hobby. And one of our challenges is just getting enough people trained up so that there's this critical mass of people in the hobby of mini painting that know how to do this, that can tell their friends. We're getting there, but it's been really nice over the past couple of months to see that more and more people are getting the hang of it, and we're starting to see stuff pop up on Instagram and like, oh, I know where they got that symbol, and it's great.
So it seems like, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like one of the most important things is after you paint whatever symbol you want, it's the scraping that matters. Because at first I was like, oh, you must have to be really careful, like just getting the paint in the thing. But I'm like, well, if you're kind of scraping off everything that's not in the recess, like that obviously makes it a lot, not dummy proof, but like it makes it kind of semi mistake proof. Like, oh no, I went over the edges, and you're like, no, that's fine. That you're gonna scrape that stuff off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Whoever's hand it is, I like the inverted knuckle as you're like gripping that thing so hard.
You're really going for it, yeah.
That's me. Yeah,
that's not me.
It's normally better, yeah.
Right.
You're like, I really got to get in there.
So a couple of things from the chat. Maya said it took me some practice for sure. I was frustrated for about an hour, then it clicked.
Yep. That's
Kat
a very
said,
common experience. Yep.
Kat said we probably didn't know about it because going for a manicure was not part of our growing up experience.
Fair.
Absolutely. Malev said once you start stamping, it's hard to stop.
Hey.
I've seen Malev stamping. Yep.
Yeah.
It's very much one of those when you have a hammer.
Great helm. Yeah. I've seen those great helm minis. Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. The tutorial follow-up on tips is worth every second. Things to watch out for from Goblin Hobbies. Kinna is asking, when will it be available in Canada?
Good question. So
we get that a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I stock it in the store, which Brent and I have talked about, we ship to Canada, and I'll be going to GameCon Canada this year, so I could always sort of Robin Hood some over the border, and then
we're trying to find a better solution. So we first sales were at Adepticon last year, so almost a year ago, and then we were selling online in America, and then gradually we've opened up with fulfillment partners in other parts of the world. So we've got fulfillment partner in the UK, in the EU, or the Netherlands, and in Australia now. And next on the list is Canada. and it is about time. We're sorry it's been so long, but we're kind of interviewing. We're interviewing a couple of possible fulfillment partners, and then
Just
the
mail a
idea
bunch
will
to
be able
Ash.
to-
Let Ash do it.
Yeah.
Ash is busy. Ash is a busy
fill
man.
those orders, man. Pack those envelopes.
Ash is busy doing like 40 videos a week.
Right,
Ash
yeah.
does not have time for. Ash better not
Yeah.
have time for this. Yeah. Like,
Fantastic. So yeah, hopefully soon then. Yep.
We're hoping. We're definitely hoping. It's been a weird thing. It's like we've talked to people. You know, we want to get it there, and it's just like it's been on the edge a couple of times, and it's gonna happen. It's really gonna happen. There was one pretty great story of a guy who bought some at, I think, Adepticon, and drove it over the border, and did get stopped by like Border Patrol, and like they searched his stuff, and the guy just had like the guy just happened to be like a Warhammer player, a miniatures game. Yeah. And he's like, he knew what it was. Yeah. And he's like, I know what you got here. And I know that you would normally have to like pay money or whatever to get this into the country.
He's like, I'm confiscating.
I'm gonna say that, yeah, right. No, he's like, I'm gonna let this slide. I didn't see this. Like, I'm gonna go home and paint some models, though, just so you know. And like, let the guy slide. It was great.
He's like, I'm keeping this one metal sheet. Like, this is for my army, but you can have the rest of these.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just a few.
Awesome. Some of the next photos that we've got are a little bit of a callback to some photos earlier in the show.
Yeah. So, like I said, we put together those YouTube videos of painting an army for the launch, and so we were able to make a pretty big announcement, get a pretty big email list of folks interested in buying some stampin' plates, and so the week after we got back from Adepticon last year, we opened up online sales. And we sold out of our stock in a couple of days. And we intended to have a web store and not have this be like a Kickstarter kind of thing. But at least the first print run was felt like a Kickstarter, because it was getting a bunch of people together and having a packing party. And so it took us like 3 days to get everything. Like, my father is in the background there. This shot is at Crossroad Games in Standish, Maine. They've kindly let us use a lot of their space for our shipping operations, as long as there's not like a 40K tournament going on or something. So this is in the morning, before people are coming into the store in the play area at Crossroad Games. And so we've got a couple of the employees there earning overtime. This day, both my mother and father came in to help us pack.
Awesome.
And then
Dude, that's awesome though. Like, I mean, there's nothing, like, we're all small business owners. There is nothing scarier than going, well, how many do you think we should get? And you're like, I don't know. It's like, well, if we have to get at least X in order to get like the price discount to make it worth it, so I guess we'll do that. And it's like, do you think we should do more? It's like, well, here's the number we're going to settle on. Okay, cool. And then it comes in and you're like, oh man, like, I hope these move. And then you're like, oh my God, they're all gone. Like, that's like, so at least you're like, this was a good product. People like this. We're not being crazy. Like, Casey and I are correct. Like, this is
yeah.
But like, that must have been that lead up to that point. I can't even imagine. That's this part of the roller coaster. It's this part of the roller coaster. Like, is this?
Oh, for sure.
How big is this roller coaster? Are we sure about this? Like,
yeah. Because it was a lot of like, are people going to like this idea and move away from decals and give it a shot? It was also, it's ridiculous that nobody has done this yet. Like, this should have been done 5 or 10 years ago in this hobby. This should have already happened. And so during that lead up time of us like quietly developing the product, the entire time we're like, somebody's going to scoop us on this. Somebody else is going to announce this project a month before we launch something. But no, we made it in time. And for this first print run, like, I invested most of my life savings. This was how we funded our initial print run.
Oh my God, it's even more terrifying.
Yeah. So a little
this
more
roller coaster
terrifying.
Is crazy.
Yeah. So nice little adrenaline rush there. I haven't recouped that yet, but it's looking like I probably can if I need to. So
Excellent.
yeah, things are going well on that. But
that's great.
Yeah. No, so that's why we didn't do a Kickstarter, because we wanted to have a web store and we didn't want to give competitors a year notice that this was coming down the pipeline, basically.
Right.
So we wanted to keep that quiet in the lead up. But yeah, that's how it went. And that first day ended up being like packing a Kickstarter. And so we 3 days later is the other picture that's on the screen of this is in the loading dock behind the post office in Gorham, Maine. And they let us pull up to the loading dock out back and haul our own packages into those big wire bins in the back of the post office. And I made the guys wait one more minute. That's Stan, and then Brendan next to him is the guy who actually owns Crossroads. And I made them hang around for an extra 5 minutes so I could pull up the Goblin Hobbies banners like inside the post office. This is the YouTuber in me. Like, all right, this is a photo opportunity. Stand here for a minute, guys. Like, get these posters up.
But you didn't flip the image.
That's true.
Well, or maybe Dave didn't flip the image.
It's all on me. It's all on me. Sorry, I was too tired after my weekend of packing boxes.
Sorry, guys. Our production staff is overworked.
That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Break.
I was telling Brent before the show that I have an almost identical photo of me with armies and legions and hordes. When was that? That'd be 7 years ago. At the Bluff City, Tennessee post office. Same deal. Very similar sort of carts full of boxes.
I have the closest I think I have personally is when the first BattleTech Kickstarter hit, we backed it as a store because I'm a huge BattleTech fan anyways. But we went hard. I was like, I'm putting all my chips in. We went in heavy. The running joke is the only people that sold more BattleTech than my store was Catalyst. So we took photos of it when it came in. Our Kickstarter delivery, because you get your initial Kickstarter and then you get your the what do you call it, the backer kit. You can like go in and add stuff and do all that. So I like cranked our numbers way up. So when it got delivered, it was like I think we got 68 boxes, and they're like the giant ones that are like 3 feet by 2 feet by 3 feet. So 68 of those. And I had to like go through and crank out like 237 BattleTech orders. And like it dominated like all of our tables at the store for like 2 days while I was like sorting these. But it was like not the same thing because that's not my company, but I can't, it's the same. I can imagine like oh my God, we have to box up all these orders. Like on the one hand, you're like, this is awesome. But at the same time, you're like, oh my God, this is going to take forever.
A big Warhammer table is a good work surface for packing boxes. I tell you that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Nice one.
But that's awesome. Congratulations. It's really, really cool to see this product and to see it move for you guys. And having used it, like it is a phenomenal product. Again, it still baffles me that we, it's like, wait, what year is it? We just figured this out now? Like,
yeah. Yeah. We got there eventually. Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
Absolutely.
So we've got a photo now of Adepticon 2025. This is our very first booth and our very first time being for sale. And so we're just a little corner of the Trenchworks booth there. But we clogged up the front of their booth for the entire 4 days of
that row too. There was a good sized line down that row for the however many days. Yeah.
And you got Marco Carboni.
Yes, indeed. Yep. We always forget to take enough pictures of our events, but I'm glad we had somebody take this picture of us two and Marco there.
Yeah. I don't remember who took this picture.
That was a good piece of advice. Uncle Adam brought that up today. We did a call this morning, and like the factory team was on it, and he's like, make a list of all the shots you need before you go to Adepticon. And a lot of us were like, what? And he was like, because you'll forget. It'll be like, oh, I want a shot of the outside the venue. I want a shot of the sign. I want a shot of the, like, he's like, because you'll get back and you'll be like, oh, I forgot to take that photo. And I was like, oh, I didn't really think of that. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's Nova. You can see we have our own booth for Nova. And so we got a call, I don't know, maybe 2
months.
months before
Yeah.
the actual event this past summer that said a booth had opened up. And so like, all right, I guess we're going to Nova this year. And so we had an okay dedicated booth for Goblin Hobbies, but it's actually it's a really good product for running demos at events, because you can sit people down, run them through like a 5-minute stamping demo, show them the magic touch that they need to pick up the designs and stuff like that. And then normally they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then maybe they can decide to buy it or not. But then you can switch somebody new into the demo chair and run another demo. And so we've been able to stay nice and busy at events, just doing demos for folks. And again, one of the big challenges is just getting enough people in this community to know how to do it. That's really worthwhile, whether folks are buying or not. Just getting as many demos in as possible. Really good stuff. Yeah.
Well, and honestly, seeing that realization on people's faces when we're doing the demos, it's because it's so quick, and it's a ton of people just going like, what are you talking about? What did you just do?
Yeah, it must seem like you guys are doing a magic show.
Literally, we get that a lot. Like, this is sorcery. I don't understand this. Like, yeah.
You have to roll ta-da into your presentation.
Yeah, there you go.
Or like, you have to be like Shazam, and then like,
yeah. That's what it feels like, though. And it's a pretty cool experience, honestly, of getting to see that. And then
you're like, look at this Iron Warrior. Look at this
Yeah.
Iron Warrior. There were no hazard stripes. There was nothing up my sleeves. He has hazard stripes.
Yeah.
Tip your waitress. I'll be here all week.
Working a show, yeah.
Yep.
And this one was Everwinter, yeah.
Yeah, so we've also experimented with this idea of classes, of basically somebody buys the starter kit and then the class is free and they can hang around for 60 minutes or so and make sure that they're pretty good at using it before they head on out. And so this is if like we don't want to bring the stuff for a booth, or if I'm going to a local convention. I mean, this one is in Boston, a couple hours away from where I live in Maine, and so I can just head over there with a bag full of starter kits, and if someone signs up for the classes, then I show them how to use the starter kit that they bought with the class entry fee. And
I see
Brent
at like 5 shows a year.
Yes. Yeah, you go to Everwinter, you know what's up. Yeah.
Everwinter, Ironweld, Adepticon, Gamma, and then last year Nova also. But yeah, those 4 shows for sure. I always see him.
Yep.
This is the best one. Like, having seen the Lamenters and as a Blood Angels fan, I've always loved them. But you're always like, oh, dude, like I'm gonna paint a Lamenter for my kill team. I'm not painting like an army of these guys. Like that many shoulder pads. Like I don't need to do that to myself.
Yeah. So Lamenters are the yellow Space Marines, where one of the shoulder pads is a ton of checkers, and then like a circle of white and bleeding heart in the center of the field of checkers. And I have seen Dave paint a squad of these, and they look delightful. And in fact, I took a few pictures of your Lamenters in a YouTube video that I made.
Okay.
As an example of like, if you paint these, you could make them look really awesome. This probably took a while, though. Yeah,
it did. They're sitting just over there. I can see them.
Nice.
Yeah. But checkers are maybe the like killer app for these stamps.
Yeah.
So checkers are something that is difficult for both decals and stencils for different reasons. Like for stencils, geometrically, you can't actually make a checkerboard in stencils without every individual checker being its own piece of tape or whatever. Just like the corners of checkerboard don't actually touch to make a structurally sound piece of stencil vinyl or whatever. And for decals, I mean, you always have to make sure that you're getting rid of that clear plastic on the white checks or whatever.
Yeah.
But for stamping, it picks up a checkerboard really well. It puts it down really well. On a Space Marine shoulder pad. So a Space Marine shoulder pad is a full like quarter globe. And so there's a lot of curvature on a Space Marine shoulder pad, but the silicone stamper like squishes around the curvature just fine. And on the edges, you can get some distortion of the shapes if you're going from like a 2D stamp to going 90 or 180 degrees around a shoulder pad, but it still looks pretty good, all things considered. And it takes about 30 seconds for a full stamping operation. And in 30 seconds, you can go from a blank Space Marine shoulder pad to one that's covered in checkerboards, and it looks painted on because it's basically enamel paint. And yeah, so anyway, checkerboard is like a killer app for the stamps. And so for fun.
Question for you about this specifically. Did you, like, using the board, do you paint the black and white checkerboard with the circle and then the heart at the same time, or is it two different stamps? Did you do
two different stamps? So
red heart.
Yeah, each color is always a different stamp.
Okay.
Or you could try to get advanced and do some blends, but like really each color is a different stamp. But started with just white primed shoulder pads, stamped on black checkerboards. And we have a pattern that has a circle in the middle of the checkerboards if you want to use that. And then, we have a bleeding heart on one of the stampin' plates. And so we grabbed that in red, put it down in the center, painted the rim of the pads yellow, and there you go. And so this, the picture that's on screen right now, there's about like 10 Lamenter's shoulder pads on there. And some of them are a little bit distorted based on either my aim or just the silicone squishing and distorting in a little bit of a weird way. But it kind of makes the point that, I mean, I did those in about 10 minutes. The longest part was painting yellow on the rims. Yeah, boo, boo. Sorcery! Yeah.
Burn him! We found a witch. May we burn her?
But I thought this was a fun demo of kind of what this tool can do that maybe other tools can't do. So
yeah, no, it's a perfect demo for it.
It's basically the same. It's the same technique as the makeup brushes I've been using to paint the guys that I have. So the foam teardrop makeup brushes. It's the same idea if you're painting like shoulder pads and stuff, and like you have your black lining. So you just prime everything black, and then you use whatever color you want, use the makeup brushes. And because it can't squish into the creases or any of the crevices and stuff, everything has that black outline. But it's great on shoulder pads because, again, it doesn't care that it's curved because the thing, squishes onto the shape and covers the whole thing. And I mean, that's awesome. But yeah, it's just wild to be like, yeah, I did 10 checked Lamenter's shoulder pads in like 10 minutes. That's wild.
Yep.
We went pretty hard too. The one of the starter box, like the starter kit plates, has a checkerboard pattern with the circle in it, ready to go.
We knew what we were doing.
Yeah, we knew that was going to be a thing. So
You're like, what chapter has the most nightmarish symbol to paint rapidly and have it match?
Yeah. Well, and we also figured like if we could show this process being, because like we know it works, right? Like 13-year-olds are doing this on YouTube right now, like nail stamping, right? We know it works, but like showing it in the worst, I guess, setup and environment and doing Lamenters is like proof of concept. Like we can do this and it does work and it looks pretty friggin' good. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, Kat. Shout out to the ladies. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't know that new technique. All the guys I have for I'll show you guys all the guys I have for the Rogue Trader event at Adepticon. I did them all using the sponges, and I was kind of like, I don't know, like I primed them blue, and Ben was like, you really want to prime them black? So I hit them with a really heavy Null oil wash, and then worked up from that, and they look great. And he was like, just think about how much even crisper they would be if you had worked up from true black. And I was like, man, it's awesome. It might be my new go-to. It's a really, really sharp trick.
Cool. All right. I'm taking a look at that when I see you at Adepticon. Taking a look at your minis. Yeah.
Nice. And then finally, this one. What's going on here?
So obviously we both really like miniatures. It's something that we've been passionate about for a long time. And we really wanted to, with doing this company, to make miniatures also. Like we want to do fun things and make cool things that people like. So we started making goblins, and we've gotten some pretty awesome artists to draw up some really cool goblins, some really good sculptors to sculpt some really cool goblins. And then like this one that's in the picture is a metal model of a space goblin that we did. We didn't have very many of them. We didn't do a ton of the metal ones, but we've been making more, and we're going to continue. We just got some in hard plastic too.
Yeah. We commissioned War Games Atlantic to make a little sprue of hard plastic polystyrene goblins. And Goblin Hobbies, our logo has like a brother and sister goblins. We got Nugget, the weird little brother, and Elma, the big sister goblin. And those are the mascots for Goblin Hobbies. And it also gives us a good target for making minis of. So minis for running tutorials and promos and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
those are awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that brings us that essentially brings us to the end of that. But we've still got minis to show from our Facebook community.
Oh God, we're gonna have to blitz through those.
It's,
yeah,
we should be able to do that. But one of the things I did want to ask is for Adepticon, what have you guys been preparing for that?
So, a year ago at Adepticon were our first sales ever. So we've basically been doing Goblin Hobbies for just about 1 year. And we've been working on new plates. We've been working on those plastic models. Like I said, we're going to have 6 new plates at Adepticon, and they'll be for sale starting at Adepticon. And then we'll put them on the web store in all of the regions that we currently are in after we get back home. We're also going to be doing, we're not going to have plastic models at the show, but it'll be right after. We'll just miss it. But that's the plan. So 6 new pretty sweet plates. Yeah.
Excellent. So Adepticon will be the first place that people will be able to pick those up, but shortly after on the web store. Let's see if we can get Brent having to do the same sort of packing party.
Yeah.
And loading stuff up at the local post office.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. No, we've learned a lot since then. We've got boxes that go together with less tape. We actually just hired my buddy Alex to we just got our first employee too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Boy, he's gonna be doing a lot the answer. Yeah, just hire someone to do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Awesome. Well, cool. Thanks, guys. Are you all good to hang out and have a look at these?
Sounds great.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for humoring us for 2 hours.
For sure. I mean, this episode could easily go on for 3 or 4 hours. So, and we're happy to do it. I mean, that's part of why we do this. Our show is roughly 2 hours. Anybody, while we switch over, anybody who's still on, if you guys haven't, please like and subscribe, hit the bell, do all the stuff, help us outsmart the algorithm, or stay ahead of it, like these guys are saying. Let's see what we got here, dude. Adam's stuff is so crazy. I saw this today on the Facebook page. His colors are wild.
Yeah, I think Adam, somebody that you should definitely talk to about painting up some goblins.
We got a few goblins. Yeah,
this is a wonderful goblin.
It is very goodness.
Yeah.
I love this spear. The metal on the spear is awesome.
Yeah. I gotta admit, I'm a big fan of the dwarf head that the goblin is standing on. The goblin.
He's a little ruddy.
He's a little the tactical dwarf head.
Yeah.
While this was resolving, as Dave brought it up, I thought he was standing on. I thought it was an octopus. I was like, what? And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, oh, it's a dwarf head. That makes more sense.
Much more sense. But no, beautiful work there, Adam. It looks great. There we go. Nice one. Brendan, as well as helping me pack a whole bunch of packages on Saturday. Sunday, he continued his work on this for the team tournament, 40K team tournament at Adepticon. Painted some more Custodes.
I really like this look. It's very Toon Kings.
Yeah, the sort of the greenish blue.
Yeah, like the
Almost
teal with the gold.
Can't go wrong with teal. Yeah.
Yeah. But Brennan tried to convince me that on Sunday that I should stay, I should go to his place and he should go and pack more boxes so I could stay and paint his Custodes. And
It's a solid deal. That's a solid offer.
Could have been it was definitely a solid offer, but I didn't take it, and this is Brennan's results. So I think they look great.
Those
Did
guys
a
are
really nice job.
Awesome.
They look super cool, don't they?
I wonder what the bases are going to be, but yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah,
I think they're all just plain black. So like Josh was suggesting earlier, plain bases. I'm not sure. We'll see those at Adepticon next week. Nice work, Brendan. I mentioned that I painted up some Prussians. So these are for the demo tables. I did something different to my Prussians. My Prussians have got blue, like blue painted in armor. This is going for a little bit more of that kind of khaki kind of look.
Very nice.
They were fun. This is before the metallics went on, and obviously before the bases were finished. But it was nice to be able to wrap those up.
Looking good.
Those guys are sick.
Next up, Sulin. Sulin said that this was so that the last mini that he's painted for himself for a little while. He's got some more commissions that have come in.
Was that Cannon Crew?
Yeah, I think so. I think it must be. But I really love it. I love the just that sheen on the breastplate.
The sheen on. I mean, there's so much going on here. Sulin is such a good painter. Like all the different, the very subtle shadow work on like his like kilt,
The
and
fold.
then like all of the detail on that face.
Yeah.
The lighting following the stripes on the kilt. Yep.
Yeah.
So good.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looks fantastic, Sulin. But now Sulin is working on some Necrons.
Yeah.
For a commission. And he's having a lot of fun with the glows.
Yeah, that green glow is always fun to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that on Necrons too. It's real good to do on those.
Yeah. You said for these pylons or whatever they're from the Silent King model.
Yeah.
They called
Mhm.
it. But they he said they used some color shifting paints on here.
Oh, yeah.
Then used some like contrast or speed paints to sort of accentuate some of that color. So he just used that very sparingly as a glaze in certain areas. There's a video on the Facebook group that you can go and check out where you can see the shifting as he's turning it around. But these look fantastic, don't they?
They do.
Excellent. Mulelax38 asks, are there any Build Paint Play battle reports coming out of Adepticon? A Tale of Two Warlords? Not that we have planned, but hopefully for next year we might do our Tale of Four Warlords again, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I wrote not battle reports per se, but I'll take photos of all the heresy stuff that I play in and do a recap of that. And those guys are awesome. The Firex guys do such a good job. So
yeah,
and I'll definitely get photos of our battle at the farm.
Right. Yep, that'll be good. Josh Sawyer painting up some Shatterpoint.
Nice. These are great.
Yeah, fantastic set of Jedi and Proto Sith there.
Yeah. Their models are so nice. They're just a little bit oversized, like so you have to buy different size terrain. You can't use all your Legion stuff, but that little bit. It's just so much easier to kind of get like really really cool results using these.
Yeah, they look fantastic. Nice work, Josh. And also some Storm Troopers, Death Troopers, and Shore Troopers.
Very nice. The shore troopers are hilarious. I just imagine that they're stationed on all like the tropical island worlds. You're like, this seems like a great posting.
Yeah, way better than Hoth, right?
Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be stationed on Space Hawaii. I guess I'll just go surfing and like hang out by the beach.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. But yeah, nice work, Josh. I'm going to be playing Trench Crusade against Josh at Adepticon. I'm looking forward to that. Next up, Christian Simonson came in out of retirement and
Oh, nice.
had a.
You heard me talking about him last week.
Yeah, yep. So these fantastic. I'm going to guess Clan Scryer.
Yeah, for sure.
Skaven. But yeah, lots of grimdark, coppery goodness.
Man, his colors are so good. I love that he always has a backdrop too.
Yep. But no, these look great.
It's making a real good argument for space Skaven.
Yeah, see a little Harud. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be really fun to make a Mechanicus army and just use Skaven. Like run Mechanicus rules, but build it all out of Skaven. Like I was like, that'd be sick.
I have some converted Mechanicus models that have like Skaven heads and stuff, and it works pretty good. Looks pretty great.
Nice. You have to share some photos in the Facebook group. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's so many great like changeovers. Like instead of having, you know, the castle and robots with the guns, you just run the what are they? It's the giant rat ogres with the like the weapons all strapped to them.
Yeah.
Really cool. But yeah. But no, looking great there, Christian. Awesome. Next up, Luis. We showed this. Luis had painted this duck from Epic Duck Studios last week, but he's mounted it on a base, which looks great.
Looking good.
These ducks are pretty sick.
Yeah. I love those ducks. Yeah.
Pretty great.
And this is a prime example. Yeah.
Yes.
In the chat, Brandon says one-page rules is making some space rats really soon.
Yeah.
And Jez says Mantic do Veermen. So
Nice.
Definitely worth checking those out for spacey rat codes.
I do have some of those Mantic models.
Yeah.
Oh, this model is so good.
So this is a character, right?
Yeah, that's Katie's next. He's basically the first. He's like the first Moratat, essentially. Like he's his whole background is nuts. He's an older prisoner who's like in for like multiple murders, and as they're breaking out of the prison, like everyone's like, we should just kill this guy and leave him here. And Corax is like, well, you know, let's talk to him. And he's like, listen, like I know that you're in here for X, Y, and Z, and like from now on, you only kill if you kill, you kill for me, and that's it. And Katie's is like, deal. So he basically comes out. His pistols are crazy. He's kind of like he's like 30k Cypher is basically what he is. Like he's a gunslinger and he has like all kinds of crazy gunfight rules, but he is crazy dangerous in the game.
Yeah. But Luis has done a wonderful job there.
Yeah,
great.
He looks so good.
Loving the cloak.
Yeah,
in particular, nice work there. Excellent. Next up, Mark Maxey. He's finished painting up these two. I think it's this is sort of chibi version of Magnus and Mortarion, and he started working on the backdrop for them. But he's going to put these together as a like a dual entry for Golden Demon.
They're so awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll hopefully see that in a week.
Yeah.
Those would be
great. Beautiful stuff. I think my favorite part is always going to be
the eye on his wing is pretty great.
But yeah, nice one. Next up, Mike Hughes. Paint up this guy. This is from Darkwater, Warhammer Quest Darkwater. Is that right?
I don't know. I think it's from Darkwater. There's also a guy that looks very similar to this that comes with the Felgor Ravagers, but I believe this is the one from Darkwater.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, looking beautiful there. A few more photos on the Facebook group. You can go and check that out. Build Paint Play Community.
So good.
So yeah, beautiful work there, Mike. That red pops beautifully against all that green.
So good. It's so nasty. I love it.
Oh. Excellent.
Who doesn't love like creepy goat dudes? Like,
excellent. Next up, Patrick. I think. Oh, yep. Patrick is in the chat.
This is Adepticon exclusive.
Yep.
Oh.
So she looks fantastic.
That model's great.
It's that almost sawn off shotgun kind of look for the gun.
For the plasma pistol. Yeah, that's rad.
It's very cool. Yeah, you're right there, Joe.
Yeah.
Cool design. But yeah, looking awesome there. So check out the bombshell. Oh, he's painting it right
right now.
Yeah. So check out the bombshell minis.
TikTok. Yeah.
7 days.
Got to get that ready for the booth. Yeah.
He'll be fine. That's plenty. One miniature in a week. Come on, that's child's play.
Well, he's
I know.
also working on the sculpt.
Yep.
So this is a sculpt that Patrick's done for. He's working on for his Golden Demon entry. It's Jagdea from Double Eagle and Interceptor City. So
awesome. Dude, I love the idea that they have like square helmets. It's so awesome. You're like, how does that work? Like even inside it's square. You're like, how does it stay on their heads? There's no way that's comfortable.
Oh, it's 40K, man. Nothing's comfortable. But, yeah, awesome work there, Patrick.
That's really cool. Yeah.
The colors blocked in. A lot of do there, and so the work on so far on the.
So good.
I think it's one of those things, Jake. If you check out the Fantine drop troops,
yeah,
they've got the helmets that are kind of flattened on the side, but it's almost like a cylinder, part of a cylinder around the heads there. So the curves that way, but it's just squared off.
They're so great.
Yeah.
I also love the whole like they have that weird like steampunky technology. So like their flight suits look like deep sea diving rigs. Like they're all padded with all the brass and leather straps and gauges everywhere. It's amazing.
Yeah, those look fantastic. But coming on beautifully there, Patrick. Very cool. Sean Gleason painted up some more elves.
Nice.
I think I'm not sure. Are these in an Underworld set?
Those might be an Underworld warband. I don't remember.
Yeah. They got that sort of that. There's a lot of individuality there, which makes me think.
I love the guy on the left, just like casually about to kill someone with a throwing knife, just like.
Yep. You over there.
I'm gonna kill those guys with my spear, but I'm gonna kill this guy right now with my knife.
Yeah. Look fantastic. Awesome. Dave Hummel has to head off. Catch you later, Dave.
Ducking out early, ducking out before the wire. I like it.
Yep. All the best, mate.
Take it easy, man.
And Sean has also completed painting up his sea monsters for Man of War.
Awesome.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah.
Crazy ones. I think, of course, being from Maryland, the blue crab is, of course, my favorite there.
Nice. I like that. Like Neptune has like the tiniest base.
Yeah. And that the shark has the biggest one.
Yeah.
But they look great, Sean.
Those are great.
Yeah, very cool.
And then I think finally we've got Stephen.
I owned this fire giant when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He was a big hunk of metal from Ralpartha.
How big's that base then? Do you think is that like a 40 mil base? Or?
Yeah, that's probably a 40. Because he's about this big. He's about the size of a 40K Ogren.
Okay. Cool.
He's not quite as wide. He's maybe a little bit taller, but he's about the same size.
Yeah. But it definitely looks cool there.
Yeah.
And I know that Stephen had a lot of fun with that lava base as well.
Super cool.
Crackle paint on it, I think. Nice work. Okay, and normally at this time we would click to the next slide, and it would say
our next guest.
Our guest for next week, but it's not there. Why is that? Because Jake and I are taking a break next week. We're not going to try and cram somebody in right before Adepticon. So no show next week, but the following week on the what's that going to be? The 31st of March.
Yeah, we'll do a recap and stuff.
So,
part of it was just we were like, do we try to squeeze somebody in? Then it was like, I have a flight super early the next day. I'm gonna want to be packing Tuesday night, so I was like, maybe we don't do an episode. So,
yeah,
We are going to try to do some content though. So we will have some friends of ours from the factory team are going to teach Dave and I how to use this new like mobile studio. It looks like an ice cream cone, and Uncle Adam has one. He loves it, and Phil was raving about it. And we are like, should we get one? So they're going to show us. I'm going to try to line up an interview like we did last year. We're going to try to do an interview with Matt Hart from Steamforge so they can go over all their new stuff. I'm going to try to get one. We might try Ronnie. I might see if Ronnie wants to sit down with us too. We might just kind of do a couple like fun ones there live with people while they can. We might do a couple short ones and kind of stick those in the next couple of weeks too.
Yep. Actually, a mention of Steamforge there just reminded me. Casey, you mentioned before that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe you can ask him about that. So one of the things that we're doing, we're not launching it at Adepticon, but pretty soon we are going to be doing more licensed plates from companies and game companies that you've heard of. So War Machine, Steamforge Games is one of those companies. They have announced it in the like last couple months or whatever, but it was pretty under wraps still. But that is something that we're doing. So we're going to have some licensed plates, and we're going to continue to work with them.
Obviously, I'll have to pick up a Gravediggers one because I don't want to paint that. I don't want to paint that bird all over all of my dudes.
Yeah. No, we've got a couple of real good plates that have a lot of stuff that's going to be real useful for anybody painting that stuff. Yeah.
Victoria just jumped on.
Yep. Victoria Lamb. Hi, Vic.
Hello.
Very cool. Sorry you won't be at the show, but yeah, keep an eye on all the coverage. It's going to be a good one for sure. Excellent.
We got anything else?
No, I think that's it. That's it. All good. Do you guys have anything you wanted to mention?
Oh, just thanks for having us on. Good talk.
Yeah, appreciate it. I guess we'll see you guys at Adepticon. Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, we will.
Oh my God.
Everybody get packed up. Patrick's gonna finish his miniature. Tomorrow I'm gonna knock out the bulk of the end of my painting for the Marines I gotta do, but otherwise I should be good. Plenty of time. I gave myself 3 weeks.
That's pretty good.
Awesome. Cool. Okay.
All right, that's it. We're good to go. Again, huge thank you guys for coming on, Brent and Casey. It was psyched to have you guys here and chat, hang out, and show off this stuff. And we'll get some videos and stuff when we're there. Like we'll get some photos with you guys and show that to people. And then we'll get some videos of Dave and I actually you teaching us how to stamp.
Yeah.
Dave can like get his
Come
finger
on
really
by.
Come on by.
A huge thank you to Army Painter, as always, for being our sponsor. We appreciate it. We will see everybody later. Be safe. Make sure you guys post any of the stuff you guys want to show off on Facebook page. If there's anything you guys want us to check out while we're there, if there's anything you're like, I want to see more of this, but I'm not going to be at Adepticon, hit us up on the page. Like Dave and I will try to get some photos and at least talk to those people. But otherwise, we will. Someone wants you to do a cool stamp graffiti. That'd be kind of neat.
We got some stuff. Yeah.
But we will see. We'll see everybody next week. Be safe. And as always, do not forget to build, paint, play.
Yeah.
Shut up and sit down.